Good day, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Fayette Focus. Harry Wright with you. Today, my guest from the Fayette County Historical Society, the museum lady. We got Bev Mullen. How are you?
Now, see, that makes me sound old when you call me the museum. Well, I am old. Never mind. Yes, I'm fine.
Wonderful. Well, you are the museum lady. You come on here every month. You talk to us about what's going on. And now, even though we're kind of winding down to the end of the season, however, what we do have is some activities planned in what we would call the off season.
That is very true. We have a lot of things happening. If you were just uptown for Scarecrow Festival and you stopped in to see us, then you got to see the great Frank Boylan pictorial exhibit. That was wonderful. He took pictures during the mid-50s all around Washington Courthouse in Fayette County. It was wonderful. We were overrun, believe it or not, dry as the museum can be. We were overrun with visitors. We were thrilled. We were just like floating. It was great.
That was good to hear because you had that nice spot down there by where the Midway was and the rides, and you had some nice traffic in through there. And of course, this is the last month. September's the last month for the 1 to 4 hours on Saturdays and Sundays. But any time that you might want to have somebody come and take a look at the museum, you can give Bev a call or someone.
You called 335-2953, that's 740, and just leave a message that you would like a tour. Even though we're not open, we're always open for all of you. You just have to call us. We can't go in there just because we think somebody might be coming. So, but like the holidays are coming, if you have a large Thanksgiving crowd coming to your home, and you don't know what to do with them once it's over, or there's those who want to watch the football and those who don't, take those who don't, call a week ahead of time and let us know you're going to bring your family over after Thanksgiving dinner, and we'll be glad to open. But don't call us that morning.
Now,
at least a week's notice.
I was going to say, one of the things you don't want to have happen is you don't want to have somebody wake up on Thanksgiving morning and go, hey, has anybody called Bev? Let's call her. Let's call that number and see if... No, it ain't going to happen.
No, because I'm not coming if you give me an hour's notice. I'm going to tell you no. So there is, because I have family too. So we also have upcoming, another way to come and see what's going on is we are hosting with Robert's Funeral Home Business After Hours in October.
Now, that's a wonderful thing. Business After Hours is a way for business people in the community to get together in a social atmosphere and network. And also it highlights the locations that they have it at, and what a cool idea to highlight the museum.
Exactly. And what is so nice with Mr. Roberts joining in with us, we're going to use his parking lot. So if you're worried, if you're thinking, I'm not going to go to the museum Business After Hours, there's no place to park, wrong. There is. You can park in Mr. Roberts' parking lot. You can go through his building, because he has a very old building. His building was built in 1903. So it's not quite 1875, but it's pretty darn old. And it's got a wonderful history to it, so you can wander through his building and then come over to the museum and wander through the museum and walk across the street again and get in your vehicle and go home. No problems whatsoever. So we're looking forward to everybody that is a chamber member and anybody who wants to come along that night, just come on along and enjoy the tours.
The chapel in the Roberts Museum is so uniquely designed. It's wonderful.
And actually, Mr. Roberts has somebody who will be playing that organ all night long. And that will be just wonderful.
So now that's in October. Coming up in October is a Business After Hours. I want to skip ahead to one of the most famous events in Fayette County.
How could that be,
and the thing that I already can smell the cookies.
Oh, me too. We were talking about it yesterday. I was at the museum yesterday, and we were talking about, oh my gosh, it's almost cookie sale time. And everybody kind of gets this glazed look over their faces because we know how the aroma goes through the house, and we know what wonderful bakers we have. And we always count on the wonderful buyers. That's all you folks out there listening to this. It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, and it's the only fundraiser we have every year. This is our only fundraiser. So.
And if you want to make somebody really happy, maybe you've got a relative who lives out of state or something, get you a cookie tin, fill it full of these wonderful cookies, and send it out to them and say, don't you wish he was here?
Well, and so many of the lovely ladies that come and visit us during the cookie sale, as they're standing in line, I always have to talk to everybody that's in line because you're standing in line. And they'll say, did you get everything you need? Oh, yes, this is my baking. I worked really hard to do my baking today. So I think that's pretty cool that some people don't even bake anymore. They get everything they need right from our cookie sale.
You have such a great variety, and like you said, wonderful, wonderful people that volunteer to make those cookies that help raise some money for the museum.
Candies for people that are watching and haven't been to. It's cookies and candies.
Now explain some of the candies that you've had.
Well, the fudges. Isn't that a candy? Fudge is a candy.
You know, I think it is. You have to use a candy thermometer with it, so
There
yes.
you go. So we have the fudge, and we have Buckeyes, and we have all kinds of things like that. I mean, it's not just all cookies; it's everything. Teeny tiny little tarts that are filled with pumpkin and walnuts. And I'm sorry if anybody's allergic to the walnuts, but oh my gosh, they're so good.
You know, right now out there, everyone, their mouths are watering. So now tell us when the cookie sale will be happening.
The sale will be the first Saturday in December. And if I looked at the calendar right, that should be December 1st.
The 1st of December. So first Saturday in December, the cookie sale's at the museum, and it will run.
Open the doors at 10 o'clock. That means that there's a line, about 20 people deep by the time we open the doors. And we sell the cookies by the pound. So there you go. That's all you need to know. We'll help you carry all your cookies to your car. It's just a great day. Everybody you know will be there. I promise you, it's just a great time.
You'll have a fun visit while you're waiting in line to get your cookies.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I thought I'd sing this year.
Oh, well, there you go. A little entertainment, little cookies at a show. That's too funny. Now you got your list there. We talked about what was the business after hours. We talked about the cookie sales.
The other thing we have going on in between those two events is our annual our annual meeting of the membership. How can I not remember that word? Our annual meeting of the membership, and it will be the second Thursday in November. I don't know the date. I just know it's the second Thursday, and it will be at the community room at St. Coleman's. And it will be an opportunity to hear what we've done all year long. Like I know you already know because you see me here or hear it on the radio. But the things that we've done and the things that we hope to do, that we hope will be on our calendar and be accomplished in 2019. Can you believe 2019? And even if you're not a member, you may come to the meeting just to see what it's all about. You may leave being a member because we do some really cool things. Here's what most people don't understand. That museum is there today to help everybody understand what happened in the hundreds of years it took us to get to today. But as we sit here, you listening and us talking, as we sit here, history is still being made in Fayette County today. It may seem like a little thing today, but we don't know what kind of an impact today is going to have on our county 20 years from now or 50 years from now. So every day, history is being made, and we just want to share that with everybody.
I'm glad you brought that up because you guys can tell us, the museum can tell us through its displays what the little things were 50 years ago that had the big impact on our community today. Like some don't realize that this was all swamp area when it was first set.
Exactly right. It was swamp. We had to be friends with Indians there were no Indian villages in Fayette County, but there were hunting camps. They would go from Chillicothe, mostly the Shawnee came from the Chillicothe area, and they would go through Fayette County to get to Greene County, and then they would go other places, either down to the river or up to the lake, and then they would head back home in the fall, but they would stop here and they would do their hunting, and while they were here, they would burn down the tall grasses. When the Indian was forced out of this area, the white man didn't understand the purpose of burning down the tall grasses, and so it was year after year after year of this grass falling on what was already, like you said, murky, muddy ground, watery ground, and that. I mean, have you ever walked by that in your backyard in a puddle, and it's just an awful aroma, and it gives off gases, and people were dying in Fayette County. People were leaving this county faster than people were coming into the county.
All because they didn't know to burn the grass.
Because they did not know to burn the grasses, because even here in Fayette County back then, they looked at the Indian as somebody that didn't know anything. they're different. There was a different culture, and that's not the way it was at all. Those Indians knew things, and they kept Fayette County going there for a while, and then we had to learn to do it all on our own. And then that would lead into how to drain the land, but we'll talk about that some other time.
You know, folks, it's just that the fact. I mean, right there at the museum, that's what happened years ago that make us what we are today. Bev's got all that information there. Don't forget, business after hours again is the
I think it's
3rd.
October, is this October already? October.
It's going to be October.
I'm pretty sure it's October 17th.
October 17th at the museum and at Robert's Funeral Home. Plus, if you want to be a member, you can always give a shout out to them. Stop by the museum, or actually now that it's not closed for the year, give them a call and set up a tour.
That absolutely, or come to the annual meeting and we'll take your membership money right there. It doesn't break people up. It's a really easy amount. So.
And we're going to have Bev on way before the cookie sale to let you know when that's going to take place, because like she said, you want to be in line. You don't want to be the one that gets there and they'll look at you and go, we're out of cookies. You don't want to be that person.
That can happen.
You don't want to be that person. So thank you so much, and we'll have you again.
Thank you.